We are now in quarter 2, module 3. Our topic is simple and general annuities. Our lessons is outlined in the following manner. First, classification of annuity. Second, definition of annuity terms. Third, simple annuity. And fourth, the general annuity. Our objectives for today, number 1, define and identify types of annuity. Second, illustrate time diagram as cash flow of an annuity. Third, find the future and present values of simple and general annuities. The annuities have been used in our society. Government and non-government agencies are using annuity products to fund their retirement plans. The knowledge of annuity applies to regular investment for a goal, loans, retirement plan, educational plan, amortization, and saving money. So this lesson will help you illustrate, investigate, analyze, and solve problems involving simple and general annuities. People pay installments in insurance, loans, educational plan, retirement plan, or major purchases. Example, appliances or properties. Or payments by installments are done periodically and in equal amounts. So this scheme is called annuity. So pag sinabi nating annuity, pag meron kayong mga educational plan, retirement plan, or insurance, or sa loans, so the payment, yung payment natin is by installments, pwede siya magiging monthly or quarterly. So depende yan sa contract. We have the classification of annuity. First, according to payment, interval, and interest period. So pag sinabi mong according to payment interval, this in simple annuity, the payment interval is the same as the interest period. For example, monthly ka magbabayad. So, yung payment natin, monthly, pareho lang yung interest niya. So, pag sinabi mong monthly ang payment, the interest will be also compounded monthly. So, example here, a deposit of 20,000 pesos was made at the end of each month to an account that earns 5% interest compounded monthly. Okay, for the general annuity, the payment interval is not the same as the interest period. Example, installment payments are made at the end of each month for a loan that charges 1.05% interest compounded annually. Another classification of annuity that is according to time of payment. Ordinary annuity or annuity immediate, the payments are made at the end of each payment interval. And then the annuity due, the payments are made at the beginning of each payment interval. So sa ordinary annuity, ang payments natin is at the end of each payment interval. And the annuity due naman, that is, the payments are made at the beginning of each payment interval. So ganun. Letter C, according to duration. In an annuity, certain payments begin and end at definite times. Example, a loan payable of 10,000 pesos at the end of the month for 2 years. So every end of the month for 2 years, so you have to pay for a loan that is 10,000 pesos. Contingent annuity, the payments extend over an indefinite or indeterminate length of time. Examples, life and accident insurance or pension payments. So, yun ang mga example ng contingent annuity. So now let's proceed to the definition of terms. So kailangan natin ma-familiarize the terms that we are going to use in our discussion later. So annuity is a sequence of payments made at equal or fixed interval or periods of time. Next is payment interval, the time between successive payments. So yung mga intervals. Perpetuities, a series of periodic payments which are to run infinitely or forever. Next is deferred annuity, an annuity in which the periodic payment is not made at the beginning nor at the end of each payment interval, but some later date. Example, Mr. Ken paid 20,000 pesos as down payment for a car. The remaining amount is to be settled by paying 16,200 each month for 5 years with interest of 10.5% compounded monthly. So that is an example of deferred annuity. Now let's proceed to the term of an annuity, or that is denoted by letter T, or time between the first payment interval and the last payment interval. That is the term of an annuity, or denoted by letter T, small letter t. The regular or periodic payment, that is denoted by capital letter R, is the amount of each payment. So, magkano yung babayaran mo buwan-buwan or every quarter. That is what we call the regular or periodic payment. Amount or future value of an annuity, that is denoted by capital letter F, is the sum of the future values of all payments to be made during the entire term of annuity. So that is the sum of the future values. So lahat ng payments natin during the entire term of annuity, that is the future value. Okay, next, present value of annuity, or that is denoted by capital letter P, as sum of present values of all payments to be made during the entire term of annuity. So meron tayong din present value of annuity, that is the sum of present values of all payments to be made during the entire term of annuity. The cash value or cash price, down payment if there is any, plus present value of an annuity. Now let's proceed to the time diagram for simple and general annuity. So letter P, the capital letter P here in our time diagram, that is our present value. So that is denoted by capital letter P. And then our F sa right side natin, that is the future value. Our R, that is our regular payment. So that is monthly or quarterly. Now the N is the number of payments. So for example, the first payment, so that is our R, regular payment. The second payment, another R, regular payment. Third, fourth, fifth, and so on and so forth. So that is the number of payments in sa baba. Simple annuity. So let's have an activity for the simple annuity. So read the situation below and provide what is asked. Mr. and Mrs. Santos were planning to acquire house and lot but have limited budget. They went to a bank for some advice as to how they could produce enough amount for the down payment on a house and lot they had chosen. This is the advice of the bank. If you will invest 20,000 at the end of each year for 5 years in an account that pays interest at 10% compounded annually, you will have the amount of the down payment of the house and lot. Okay, for sale, house A, the price is 850,740. So the first house for sale. The second house for sale is, the price is 1,221,020 pesos. And the house C, price is 2,110,000 pesos. And the down payment is 10% of the price. No price increase for the next 5 years. So that is the condition. The condition is down payment of 10% of the price, and there is no price increase for the next 5 years. So letter A question here, how much is their investment after 5 years? And second question is, which house did the couple choose? And the third, how much is the present value of the couple's investment? Now, let us solve this problem. Okay, so let us show first the problem in the time diagram. So in the first year, so 20,000 ang amount. Second year, another 20,000. In the third year, 20,000. Fourth year, 20,000. And also in the fifth year, also 20,000. So we can use the table to organize the calculation of the future value of couple's investment at the end of the term. Okay, so the period, so ito yung table natin. So period 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So in the first, payment per period. So this is now the period. So using the formula for the future values, in the first period or the first year for 20,000, the future value is 29,282 pesos. For the second year, another 20,000, the amount will be 26,620 pesos. For the third year, the 20,000, the future value is 24,200 pesos. In the fourth year, for 20,000, 22,000, the future value is 22,200 pesos. In the fifth year, another 20,000 invested. So the future value is 20,200 pesos. And the total is equivalent to 122,102 for 5 years. Okay, the future value is 122,102. So, the couple choose house B. Bakit house B? Since yung house B is 10% ng amount is 122,102. So, yon na ang down payment for the house B. So, magkasya lang yung pera nila ng 122,102 for the 10% na down payment for the house and lot. Okay, now let's proceed to the amount or future value of an ordinary annuity formula. So, F or the future value is equivalent to R times or multiplied by quantity 1 plus I raised to N minus 1 all over I. So, yung R natin dyan, that is the regular payment. Our I is the interest rate per period. And the N is the number of payments. So, to solve the given problem in the what's new, yung sa module nyo, using the formula above, we have yung given R or the regular payment is 20,000. Our T or time is for 5 years. And M is 1. N is equivalent to 5. And that is 5 years. That is the period. And then I raised to M, that is equivalent to I raised to 1. That is, the interest is 10%. And then, 10% is equivalent to 0.1 in decimal form. Our I now, or the interest rate per period, per year, that is equivalent to I raised to 1 divided by 1, kasi yearly tayo. That is equivalent to 0.1 pa rin. Okay, the solution, future value is equivalent to our R, the regular payment is 20,000 times 1 plus our I is 0.1 raised to 5 minus 1. So that is all over 0.1. And that is equivalent to 122,102. So, yan. So, pwede nang diretsahan yung pag-solve using the formula for the amount of an ordinary annuity or the future value. So, using this formula, mas madali lang. And then, pwede rin gagawin yung ginawa natin kanina using the table or the time diagram. So, we have the same answer pa rin. On the other hand, in finding the present value of an ordinary annuity immediate, discount or get the value of each payment at the beginning of the term and then add all this value or discounted payments. Sa present value naman, so paano natin isosolve yung present value? of an ordinary annuity immediate. So for the period of 5 years, the payment per period is 20,000, discounted value from the beginning of 5 years. So you have 20,000 times 1 plus 0.1 raised to negative 5. That is equivalent to 1 that is equivalent to 12,418.43. And then for the second year, you have 13,660.27. Third year, 15,026.30. Fourth year, you have 16,528.93. And for the fifth year, you have 18,181.82. And the total or the sum is 75,815.75. So the present value of their investment is 75,815.75. Now, the present value of an ordinary annuity can also be calculated easily. So, meron tayong formula din for the present value of an ordinary annuity. So, P, the capital letter P, that is for present value, is equivalent to R multiplied by 1 minus quantity 1 plus I raised to negative n all over I. So our R here, the capital R here is the regular payment. I is the interest rate per period. And our N is the number of payments. So for example, if we wish to solve the present value of the annuity problem above, yung problem natin kanina, the solution is P is equivalent to, our R is 20,000 times 1, that is constant, minus another 1, constant, plus the I interest is 10% raised to negative N. Our N here is 5, so you have negative 5 all over 0.1. So that is equivalent to 75,815 0.74. So, we will not use the table or the time diagram anymore. So, pwede na natin i-solve using the formula given. Okay, let's proceed to example number 1. Let us solve this problem. Mr. Remoto would like to save 3,000 at the end of each month for 6 months in a fund that gives 9% compounded monthly. So, monthly naman tayo. Okay, determine the future value. And letter B, determine the present value. So, the solution, isusulat muna natin kung ano yung given sa situation natin dito. So, the given is R, which is 3,000 pesos. And the T or the time is 6 months. Ito yung term niya for 6 months. And how many months? M is 12. And kasi monthly siya, no? Pag monthly, that is 12. In a year, 12 months in a year. Okay, and the N is 6 periods. Number of periods kasi monthly for 6 months. And then the interest or the I is 12. I raised to 12 is 0.09. Our I now is equivalent to I raised to 12 over 12. That is 0.0075. Okay, that is 0.0075 or that is 0.75%. In the time diagram, in the first year, mayroon tayong 3,000, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth year. Now, for the future value, using the formula, F is equivalent to, the R is 3,000 times 1 plus 0. Yung I natin is 0.0075. The term is 6 months, so I is equivalent to 6 minus 1. All over, the I is 0.0075. Now, the amount or the future value is 18,340.89. What is the present value? So, 3,000 multiplied by 1 minus 1 plus 0.0075, that is raised to negative 6, all over 0.0075. Now, the amount is 17,536.79. This is now the present value. So, ganun lang po kadali mag-solve ng future value at saka yung present value using the given formula. So, alamin lang what is the given or what are the given in the problem and then substitute lang natin sa formula po. Okay, let us proceed now to general annuity. It is an annuity where the payment interval is not the same as the interest compounding period. For general ordinary annuity, a general annuity in which the periodic payment is made at the end of the payment interval. So take note that general ordinary annuity has time diagram similar to a simple ordinary annuity. Second, has formula for the future value and present value just the same as that for simple ordinary annuity. So this is now the formula. However, an extra step occurs in finding the interest rate period must be converted to an equivalent rate per payment interval. So when solving for an equivalent rate or the I, 6 or more decimal places will be used if the resulting decimal is non-terminating. So if you use fewer or more decimal places, your answers may differ from the answers provided in the text. So you can ignore this discrepancy, but it is suggested that you use at least 6 decimal places for the exact value. Let's proceed to example number 3. The situation or the problem is Julia borrowed an amount of money from Marleya. She agrees to pay the principal plus interest of 8% compounded quarterly by paying 38,973.76 each year for 3 years. So find the future value or find the future amount of this annuity. And letter B, determine the money borrowed by Julia or the present value of the annuity. The solution, so your R is equivalent to 38,973.76. That is the regular payment. So the time is for 3 years. So month is 4. Kasi quarterly, no? So the M here is 4. That is quarterly. So in a year, there are 4 quarters. And the N is equivalent to 3 periods. So I raised to 4, I raised to M, that is 0.08. Okay, caution. Since this is a general ordinary annuity, note that the I is not equal to I raised to M all over M. The interest rate of 8% compounded quarterly must be converted to its equivalent interest rate that is compounded annually because the payments are done yearly. Okay, let's study the conversion. Step 1, F sub 1 is equal to F sub 2. Step 2, to substitute the formula. So the formula for the future value or the F sub 1 future amount, that is for 1 year. So P times quantity 1 plus I raised to 1 all over 1, that raised to 1 plus times T. That is our first F. The second F is, so P multiplied by 1 plus I raised to 4 divided by 4 and then raised to 4 times T. Next is we are going to raise 1 over T both sides. So we have 1 plus I raised to 1 over 1 equal to 1 plus 0.08 all over 4 raised to 4. So wala na yung T dyan. And then add negative 1 to both sides. So magiging I raised to 1 divided by 1 is equivalent to 1.02 raised to 4 minus 1. And then step 5, simplify. Use a scientific calculator kung meron man kayo dyan sa bahay. So you have 1.02 raised to 4 minus 1, that is equivalent to 0.082432. Gaya ng sinabi kanina, mas maganda pag gagamitin natin ng 6 digits para magkapareho tayo ng answer mamaya. And then step 6, our I now is equivalent to 0.082432. So, ganyan lang po ang pag-convert. Pag 1 year, ito annually ito. And then, yung gusto mong payment is compounded quarterly. So, kaya nagiging 4 dito yung sa T natin. So, ganun lang po. And then, general annuity time diagram. For the time diagram, yung sa future value is 38,973.76 for the first year. And then the second year is 38,973.76. And then for the third year, same amount pa rin. Now, ito yung mangyayari. For the future value, future amount using the formula, you have 38,973.76 times 1 plus yung 0.08242. Yung dissolve natin kanina for the I, the interest. And then that is raised to 3 minus 1 all over 0.082432, yung interest pa rin. So, using your calculator, scientific calculator, you will get 126,824.16. For the present value, we will use the same formula, yung kanina, that is equivalent to 38,973.76, then 1 multiplied by 1 minus quantity 1 plus 0.082432 raised to negative 3 all over 0.082432. So, pag ginamit natin yung scientific calculator natin, our answer will be 100,000 pesos. So, the present value is 100,000 pesos and the future value is 126,824.16. I hope you have learned something for today. The next activity, we will have our short quiz. Let us check what have you learned for this lesson. Kindly get your paper and a pen and write your answer on your paper. Let us start with number 1. Blank is a sequence of equal payments made at equal intervals of time, usually monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, and annually. Again, for number 1, blank is a sequence of equal payments made at equal intervals of time, usually monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, and annually. Number 2, blank is an annuity where the payment interval is the same as the interest period. Again, for number 2, an annuity where the payment interval is the same as the interest period. Number 3, blank is an annuity where the payment interval is not the same as the interest period. Again, for number 3, it is an annuity where the payment interval is not the same as the interest period. Number 4. Number 4, blank is a type of annuity in which the payments are made at the end of each payment interval. Again, number 4, a type of annuity in which the payments are made at the end of each payment interval. Number 5, blank, it is the time between the first payment interval and the last payment interval. Again, number 5, it is the time between the first payment interval and the last payment interval. Number 6, blank is the amount of each payment. Again, for number 6, it is the amount of each payment. Number 7, blank is the sum of future values of all payments to be made during the entire term of the annuity. Again, number 7, it is the sum of future values of all payments to be made during the entire term of the annuity. Number 8, Blank is the sum of present values of all payment to be made during the entire term of the annuity. Again, number 8, it is the sum of present values of all payment to be made during the entire term of the annuity. Number 9. Blank is a general annuity in which the periodic payment is made at the end of the payment interval. Again, number 9. It is a general annuity in which the periodic payment is made at the end of the payment interval. For the last number, that is number 10, a blank is a term that refers to payments received, cash inflows, or payments deposits made, that is cash outflows. Cash inflows can be represented by positive numbers, and cash outflows can be represented by negative numbers. Again, for number 10, it is a term that refers to payments received or cash inflows or payments deposits made, that is cash outflows. Cash inflows can be represented by positive numbers and cash inflows can be represented by negative numbers. And that's it for today. I hope meron kayong natutunan sa aralin natin ngayon. Hanggang sa muli, paalam!